I just want to say is glad to be back. Leon and I haven't gone live for a while. We've been doing some pre-recordings. As you know, I have been on travel for our investment group. Leon's been handling a whole lot of the financial stuff on the back end while I was away. It has been a Batman and Superman duo. You notice I didn't say Robin because it's been real work on both sides. So we're back. And welcome to Investing Education Academy's podcast. If you haven't heard us for a while, for your first time um, stopping in to see who we are or listening to this podcast, my name is Brent Simpson. I'm the co-founder of Investing Education Academy, along with Leon Noble, the other co-founder. Now, the question is, why were you away, Brent? Like, what were you doing? Well, many of you all know there's an investment group, like an interior investment group inside of Investing Education Academies called the IA Portfolio Panthers. We actually invest together. We own parts of some jet companies, a jet company, a cryptocurrency company. We own part of a secondary market for private equities that trade. We're part owners in some vending machines. We own a number of things because our goal is diversification. One of the things that we have realized is that there's a huge opportunity in Ghana for and just other countries besides the US to make money. Now, some of you all have been in the market, you know it's been crazy. We're not and I both have been preaching from 2020. Don't think that was a normal market. Don't think that the returns you saw post COVID, we're going to be normal, like normal rates of return. The stock market on average since its inception has returned about 10% rate of return. That within itself is great. However, everybody knows that depending on how you structure your portfolio, you can be above that or below that. So we inside Investing Education Academy, we're like, you know what? We need to start diversifying, not just the stocks, but our actual investments. And then we thought Leon actually brought this to me. He was like, why don't we tell people some of our rates of return outside of the stock market? We always talk about what we do in the stock market, but we don't really talk about the rates of return from the investments we're doing otherwise. So we're going to give you the ROI on two of our investments in particular. Now, if you are watching us, you want to share this or you want to hear about, we've gotten your text. Somebody actually told us they were going to write us a check for $30,000 like on the spot to join our investment club, which was cool, but there's a process. So if any of you all hear this information today and you think, oh, you know what, I would love to invest with you all, there's a process. You cannot just give us money and all of a sudden we invest it. If you want to become part of the Portfolio Panthers, you can. If you don't want to, feel free to continue hearing about our success. I hate to say it that way, but it's true, right? So, Leon, before I go into these two properties, is there anything you want to say just in the beginning?
Just that yes, we are not money managers, so we don't take people's money. As Brent said, we invest together. We form corporate as a group. Everyone invests their own money. We're not money managers, but we do particular investment opportunities to the Portfolio Panthers, and then we invest as a group. We are not money managers. We oversee and manage an investment group where we invest in property.
All right. So again, we're going to tell you about two of the properties that we recently, the two properties that appreciated in Ghana. So one is a property that the IA Portfolio Panthers, some of the Panthers bought together. Now we paid $25,000 for this property. It's beachfront property, prime real estate in Ghana. It's about 2 hours outside of the city of Accra. This real estate we purchased in November of last year, and we purchased it for $25,000. This property is now selling over $50,000 or value above $50,000. Now, let me tell you, that's not even accurate. That would give us a ROI of about 100%. But let me tell you why it's not accurate. When we purchased the property, they were selling in lots. If any of you all are into real estate, I don't know how many of you all have done real estate in, a foreign country, but a lot of times they'll do it in feet or meters, depending on where you're purchasing it from. So our plot was 100 by 80 feet. Now the plots that they're currently, and we bought two of those parcels for 50,000. I mean 25,000. This is why it's not the same. They don't even offer a 100, but well, actually, our property is 200 by 80. I'm sorry, let me correct myself. Our property is 200 by 80. They don't even offer that anymore. Now they offer 100 by 70. So if you're getting a 100 by 70, you're losing 10 feet in the width, and you multiply that times the length. That's 1,000 square feet. That's substantial when you look at a property. So those properties that are selling for 200 by 70 are selling for 50,000. So I would have to guess, I think it's a reasonable hypothesis that it's more than likely our property somewhere in the 55 to 60 space if we were to resell it, because they don't even offer anymore. So
55 to 60,000.
Yeah. Now you're talking about 105, 110% rate of return in less than a year. I don't know what you all are investing in. I don't know where you keep your money, but that's just one aspect of our portfolio. Like I said, we own a lot of companies. So this property we bought 2 hours outside of Accra is selling for over $50,000 for the same plot that we paid $25,000 for. While in Ghana, we met with an investor, and this investor purchased a condo about 5 minutes outside of the city. And if you want to know where some of these places are, contact us. We might tell you about it, but we'll see. Because some of this is proprietary, right? This is the reason why people actually pay us to go do what we do. This is why I just recently spent 14 days in Ghana, just going from building to building to building. And one of our contacts there recently sent us a report on what the real estate market looks like from his standpoint. He's a second generation realtor. He's a Spaniard. His father has been investing in Ghana and Nigeria for over like 40 plus years. So this guy has definitely a finger on the pulse of what's happening in real estate. My lawyer happened to be in Ghana when I was there. So we went out. He told me about the deals that he's buying, beachfront property he's buying, and some of also the land deals that he's working on in Ghana. And while we were there, we met an investor. This investor, listen to these numbers. Listen to these numbers. This investor purchased a condo for $210,000. That's US, 210,000 US. About 1.5 years ago. That property is now selling for $385,000. And Leon, did you do the ROI on that?
What were those numbers again?
210, 385.
Yeah, it was like 83%, I believe. Return on investment.
So you're talking about an ROI of 83% in 1.5 years. So let's just say it was 2 years. You're still talking about over a 41% rate of return in each year. And that's going up. It's really probably somewhere in the area like 52. Like 40, 44, somewhere. That is 1.5 years. Like 1.5 years. 1.5 years. If you were to make, let's do the numbers. Let's not even do the math of it. You're talking about if you were to make $175,000 in 1.5 years, that may be more than some of you all's salary. And that's just appreciation on an investment that has been sitting. It hasn't even been occupied yet. It was pre-construction. If you were to make $175,000 on your money, or let's actually say it the right way. If your money was able to make you $175,000 in 1.5 years, would you not want that to happen? Would you not think that's worth getting connected to some people who really are out there looking for deals, making the investments, and watching their portfolios grow, which is why we call it Portfolio Panthers. $175,000 in 1.5 years. Let's say that was not your cup of tea and you did the land deal with us. You're talking about that deal producing $25,000 more, 27, 28, $28,000 because it's not apples to apples comparison for doing nothing. I mean, you made the purchase, you took the risk, and that's what an entrepreneur does, right? It's what investors do. We take the risk, and now you walk away with another 25,000. So essentially, at that point, your money is not only doubling itself. We haven't even built the resort that we're working towards. Once we actually develop the land, I mean, I can't even imagine what the value is going to be when people. We were asked for if we divided our parcel into four. Someone already said they would pay us $100,000, and that's if we divided our parcel by four. Someone said they would pay us $100,000 for one of those parcels. So if that was the case, in all four, we have four people willing to do that. We're talking about $400,000 from an investment that cost us $25,000 because that was undeveloped. That was like, I just want beachfront property where you all are. And our neighbor, one of our neighbors is from France. The other one is Ghanaian. The next one is from LA. Then you have us. The neighbor to our left is from Chicago. The neighbor next to them, I believe, is from St. Louis. And I want to say the person born on the other side of that individual is from Denmark. So understand, and our neighbor across the street also, he's native Ghanaian, but from Denmark most recently. This area is becoming international by the second. And as more people come and they come in they want to feel of France, and maybe they go to our neighbors and they look 3 parcels down and say, well, what is that over there? That's a pretty cool structure. I want to stay there next time I come. Now we're talking about rental income. And our goal is to create either a resort or some type of extravagant Airbnb on this space. And people are already telling us they want to stay there, and we haven't built anything yet. Like, it's insane. So just don't think all the opportunities in the US. And if you're not part of a group that's exploring these opportunities outside of the US.
And the biggest part about this is, so all of us, everybody, I'm sure watching this or listening to this later or live, Brent and I, that's our bread and butter. Like, we love the stock market, we live it every day. But it's down the last 8 months. All of our, everyone watching this, Brent and I included, are the last 8 months because the market is. Well, the reason why we'll talk about diversification is so important is that while our portfolios are down double digits right now, in the real estate portfolio is up over 100%. So we're seeing, basically that balance of feeling it in one place, but we're actually feeling really good in another place, and therefore we're not, the pain for us isn't as bad as it would be if we were just in stock. What we're experiencing and what we're basically trying to say is that assets as stock diversification or different classes of diversification, important. Assets meaning things like gold, silver, stocks, real estate. Now on real estate, because we now have a group of investors that really want to focus on real estate and the relative high returns of real estate can offer, especially in a down. So, want everyone to take away really from this is that you really want to look at asset diversity. That's Brent and I's bread and butter. However, we are definitely moving into other assets now because we now see and especially in down markets like right now.
Yep. And so for everybody who's listening to this thinking, how do I get involved? There's a way to get involved. And we're going to stop this a little short today because we were going to go into the CPI, but we're going to do that next time around. Because we want you all to digest what we're saying. It's not about just diversification of your stock portfolio. You have to diversify your asset class. Like, what is it you're really doing? And why? What does diversification look like inside your investment portfolio? Not just inside your 401k, not just inside of your maybe stock account or Roth IRA, whatever you may have. but overall, what is your investment? What does your asset allocation look like across sectors? It's important. I mean, it really is, and it's exciting too. I mean, I'm telling you, if you've been following some of our social media, you've seen what we're doing in some of these this country, other countries. But what you're not seeing is the rich pool of other investors that we're meeting who are already invested in Nigeria or Tanzania or what was the other one? Sierra Leone, and there was one more. Was it Togo? Was it Togo, Leon?
I think yeah, I think it was Togo. Mm.
So, what does your diversification look like? I mean, think about it. If you're on the treadmill right now, if you're wherever you are, just think about what it means to you. So,
and also
go,
outside of just also outside of investors just in Africa, which we met. I mean, we met a ton of awesome content. We're pretty well connected now in Ghana, as well as some of the greater African areas because of our met some other entrepreneurs in the United States that were traveling to Africa for their businesses. It's really not just about what we're investing in; it's the contacts that we're making that we can then bring to a group that we can all prosper from and make profitable investments for the future. So this is one thing I've learned from kind of in this experience and just life in general. It's all about who you know. Can only get you so far, but who you know can get you a lot further. And we've definitely met a lot of people over the last month and a half that are definitely going to move forward IEA and specifics over the next couple of years from the deep contacts that we've made.
Yeah, I mean, and some of the people we met became IEA members as soon as they got back to their hometown state or their hometown country now. And that's actually pretty cool. We're meeting people who are, from other East Africa, West Africa. We have a client recently who's in South Africa. And we're growing. I mean, this thing is really getting bigger. So again, I hope you all are looking at more than just the paintings that we posted or, us walking down the street. It was cool. It was fun to do. It was a cool post. But, look at the asset. Look at the return on investment. Because you want to have something in your portfolio for 40 years out, 30 years out, 20 years out. So that's it for us today.
Hand down to your kids, your grandkids, nephews, and one thing. Last point that they always say the one thing they're not making any more of is land, right? And well, that's because I come because in Dubai, a lot of you have seen how they've expanded kind of do countries that they built. So I'll say it's very limited. The new land is going to be a supply and demand issue that's going to boost prices. And truthfully, only so. I mean, this is not going to be typically something you just see around the world. So generally, land is still scarce. You need to definitely buy up as much land as we can inside IA with the IA portfolio Panthers for that. Fruits of it right now in Ghana. Like Brent said, the property that we bought is up over 100% in less than 10 months. So again,
yeah, and we're looking at a deal right now that the possibilities, if we can get in at 40, 42, 80,000, somewhere in that space, depending on what type of purchase it is, we could reasonably say within 2 years that investment should sell for somewhere around 250 or more. And so, maybe you're a part of it. Maybe you just hear about the story.
Yeah, so seeing over 200 or 300% return that people are actually getting, the people that we know. So these aren't things that we're just kind of pulling. We actually know people that are seeing these type of returns on property. This isn't even stock. This is on real estate and land, and that we're seeing in Ghana. So really fertile place right now for investments, and we're definitely looking to take advantage of African. We're looking at as well, and we'll probably take some trips next year to check out some land and some property deals there. So like I said, asset allocation, asset diversification is very, very important. Diversification is as well.
Yeah, and just so you all know, we aren't just going to this country trying to figure out what we can profit from and leaving. While we were there the last time, while IA had a presence there, we had a driver who was a driver for us the whole time we were there. We had the financial ability and I'll say it was a blessing for us to be able to do it. We paid this individual's mortgage or rent for a year. And you'll see some of that information come out. I'm sure we might have some type of video on it. But it felt amazing to be able to say, because of how IA is growing, this individual doesn't have to worry about rent for 12 months of his life. That will free him up to expand his business. It'll help him get a place he probably otherwise couldn't have gotten. And it's through us having funds from investing, from having our own companies, that we're able to do this. So don't just go into a country and I'm not even saying it. I'm telling you all, we are not just going into a country thinking, how do we take? Because Leon already has a master plan for a 501c3, or I don't know, it might just be a socially conscious business, but he has like people sending him research reports. He has like, is it a vice president already or something?
Nah. So we're trying to wrap this up, not make it too long. But as Brent said, the point, as Brent is that yes, our goal is not to go into these countries and just, like you said, take and enrich ourselves. Now, I mean, Ghana is a beautiful country. The people are the nicest people. I thought Ghanaians are the nicest human beings I've ever met. And so when we went there, we still not, of course, not where the U.S. is, so it still has a bit of a third worldish feel. But Brent and I saw a lot to help improve the country. And so like Brent said, we helped out our driver. We helped pay his mortgage. And I'm actually working with, so interesting enough, somebody that we actually met there in the place we were staying. Never met her before. She lives in New York City. She's now going to working with myself. We're basically trying to put together, we're basically kind of like a socially conscious company that's going to help employ Ghanaians. And we're talking to a lot of people that we met there, saying, what type of services do Ghanaians need? Because the whole point of this is to try to give back to Ghanaians. And like Brent said, we're not trying to go in there and just, definitely the people on the ground, but the country as a whole, if we can. We're trying to do what we can. So I think this is not about greed for us. It's about making, of course, our lives better, making the lives better of our others, but as well as the lives of Ghanaians. And because that is the quote unquote motherland to that. So yeah, I just want to make that point. That's also something else that I'm working on, is on the advisory board of that. So that we're going to be all working on together.
So everybody, look, we appreciate you staying with us, and we aren't saying this to say, look what we're doing. We're saying this to say we all can do something. Like, whoever you are, wherever you are, we were blessed enough to be able to pay this guy's rent for a year. What have you done to make the people around you better? We challenge you to let us know. Put it in the comments. If you've done something, if you are listening this far, you can either go to our podcast page or, visit us on Facebook. Brag a little bit. Tell us what you've done to make somebody's life better. It doesn't have to be grand. It can be, open the door. Somebody felt terrific. Whatever it is, we just want to hear some good news. So everybody, that's one thing. We owe you 2 stock picks. They will be inside of our community. That's where all of our stock picks are going now. If you want to join, you can go to ianow.com, and we hope to see you inside the community. Have a great day, everyone.